That was the theme of my year last year. I can be myself.
So powerful. That is. I had to give myself permission to be myself too. That's why I know what you're talking about. I did a post. One of my best posts to date actually was me talking about how I was driving in my car and I was listening to one of my favorite like alternative rock songs, and I posted that video and I said this, I had to start giving myself permission to do the things that I love to do in silence and quiet out loud. Because growing up, most of those things that I loved, I would be picked on for. So when I now transition these pieces of my mind, reconfigure that belief system, this affects how I show up in business now.
Exactly.
Because now when I get on the stage, you ain't gonna tell me nothing. Like, I'm here. I'm gonna say what I want to say and do what I want to do.
Welcome to Connecting the Dots. We are back again, and we have two lovely, beautiful women that I had the pleasure of meeting at one of our local spots here in Fort Lauderdale called the Tower Club. We have Michelle Fletcher. She is the founder of the Holistic Business Network, an organization 10xing the growth and expansion of holistic health and wellness businesses worldwide. We also have Quadeera Teart, the CEO of Manifest Her Media and the publisher of Feel Well magazine. As a published author of Manifest Her, Awakening the Power Within to Build Your God-Sized Vision, Quadeera helps women break through limitations and create impactful, profitable businesses that reflect their true potential. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm so incredibly happy to have you on. And I'm so happy for you guys to share your story, your journey, drop any gems for people like on their own journey. So let's get started. So the first question
I'm going to drop
have.
gem number one and say that I'm also the chief business strategist at the Holistic Business Network.
Ooh, yes. Chief business strategist. So how did you guys meet?
We met around 10 years ago. Wow. Quadeera was a part of a radio show that did live podcasting, which I had never heard of before. They had it at this awesome restaurant, and I went out. I was like, let me go check it out. I want to meet some people. And that's where we met.
Yeah. No, that's where we met.
And we had a connection because back then I was a huge advocate for a plant-based nutritional product that me and my family used, and I shared with hundreds of people. And so when I mentioned it, she was like, oh my gosh, I used to take that as a teenager. My mom used to give that to us.
Yeah.
So we had that connection like right away, and we followed each other on social and had been connected ever since. But then
that's so wonderful.
5 years ago, things really got like ramped up, and we connected in just like a deeper way to where now we're partners in business.
So Quadeera is the chief business strategist for Holistic Health Network. And so like, how did that form together?
Well, I was looking for health coaching and Michelle was looking for business coaching. And I remember I called her one day after seeing a post that she had made. I don't know what it was about, but I said, oh, you know what? I think I can work with Michelle. And it just so happened that when I called her, she was also looking for the business coaching. So we decided to partner up together. And through that business coaching, or during that business coaching, COVID happened. And so she wanted to have these event experiences to educate people that there are other modalities that you can use to stay healthy in your life. And so she put together these events and she would ask me for guidance on places, location, how to do what she wanted to do, which at the time
Mm.
she thought was going to be like a smaller vision. And I was like, girl, no, this is a bigger vision. But
Yeah.
instead of just listening to me tell her that, the community started telling her that. Therefore, she started to believe it. And she gave in to this big vision that God had given her. And so I was there with her for the most part along the entire process. I think I only missed about one event. And
Wow.
just through helping her grow it, put things together, price things, the people started asking for an official community. So I helped her design the official community and got founding members and all the things. And I just was always at everything. And then I started doing media and interviews there. And then I
Wow.
started the magazine in that process. She was on the cover of the magazine. So everywhere she was, I was, and everywhere I was, she was. And we were doing this health and wellness and business thing side by side. And so we said, why not just make it official? Everyone thinks that Feel Well magazine is yours anyway. And they think that I'm the Holistic Business Network anyway. Why don't we just do what the people are saying?
It just happened so naturally. So we're just like, okay, they're telling us that we're like one and the same. We'll claim it. We'll just partner up, and it's all good because it just flows so well together.
And I've never met anyone that I can work this well with in business ever.
Wow.
Except for my mom. I work pretty well with my mom, but ever.
And our birthdays are 2
Yeah.
days apart. That might have something to do with it.
The 2 days apart?
2 days apart.
Wow. Same year too?
No.
Oh, sorry. So 2 days. When's your birthday? So when's your birthday?
August 4th.
August 6th.
Wow. So you guys are two Leos.
Yes.
Oh, so is there one more fiery? Is there like a fiery Leo and a calming Leo, or like what's the dynamic?
You know what? It's so funny. I would say she's more fiery, but it depends on the moment or the situation, because at times she's so chill and laid back. Like most of the time she's chill and laid back. Get her on a mic or on a stage, she's fire. Or get her to where she's like speaking about something about injustice or something like that, she's on fire. And then here I am, I get very excited and fiery about helping people and wanting people to like be amazing and all. So it depends on the scenario what you're going to see. But we both have the fire.
Getting ready for this podcast, it's funny. So Michelle really cracks me up, Jessica. So getting ready for this podcast, I have a superpower. When I see people going into like excited, like their threshold is rising, my superpower is not to match that. It's to come down and be like the calmness and the stillness in the room. So I could see that she was getting ready to get started. So she was like, oh my God, we got to, and she's trying to make sure the lighting is right. And I'm just standing there and I'm just like, okay, let me move it over here.
I'm like, Jessica's waiting on us. Let's go.
And I'm literally here. I'm like, oh, this is such a nice LinkedIn post. Like,
so she brings me down a notch when I need it. Trust me.
Yeah, but I came to realize in life, honestly, that's a superpower, because you can transform the room with your energy and your presence based on how you're showing up. And sometimes people don't know how to shift their energy. But as one of our network members always says, Dr. Lauren, she has taught us that your nervous system, your energy field, can really transform the nervous system and the energy field of another person.
yes.
So you have to be intuitive and reading between the lines, connecting the dots to see how people in the room are showing up so that you can show up even greater. But greater doesn't always mean louder. Sometimes greater can mean quieter, not smaller, but quieter, more still, so that they can show up as their full best self.
Yeah, yeah. You guys hit on like several different points that I just marked in the back of my head, that I wanted to come back to. One was how you guys officially formed together. You had people telling you first before you guys realized it. And I feel like that's like such a common theme that I'm seeing like on people's journey of transformation, even for my own. I would have people like a year ago tell me like, "Oh my gosh, you need to speak up more. You're so smart." I'm like, "What? I am? Like, what are you talking about? Like, people want to hear what I have to say? Like, what?" It was like a thing. So I'm like, okay, I'll practice speaking up more. And then I spoke up more and more and more. I'm like, oh, I do know what I'm talking about, like let me lean into it some more, like let me really show up. And then now I'm a thought leader for one of the local organizations. Well, it's turning more than local, but one of the local organizations here in Fort Lauderdale. And more people are like, yeah, like you really inspire me. I'm like, oh wow, so it's like so fascinating when you're walking in your path. You have people that recognize you before you even recognize you, and now you guys have this beautiful thing because you listened and you accepted and responded and said, yes, you're right. We are a mesh, and like it's incredible.
But I think if we're being honest, I don't know if Michelle would say this, but I think she would. And I would challenge her
Let
that
me
yes,
see
it's
what you're
true.
going to say.
I think people always know exactly who they are, but then people tell them that what they're already thinking. And so it gives them permission to be who they are
Mm,
and say what they've been thinking and hearing about themselves in the background out
yeah.
loud all along. So I had been thinking all the while, should
Mm,
I just stop this other stuff I'm doing for right now and just like really go in with Michelle? I actually don't know if she even remembers. It took me about a year to really fully go in because I was telling you, I was like, oh my God, I want to do so much more, Michelle, but I just don't have the time. It's just this and it's just that. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then all of
ah.
a sudden, out of the blue, I just was like, girl, we're just gonna do this thing. And she just was like, okay. But did you have a thought where you always knew or you wanted more, or were you kind of just like whatever for the ride?
No, I love to surround myself with visionaries, honestly, because I am very detail oriented. So I get caught up in the details. So when I started doing these events that are now like the signature events we have around the country, it was really out of a passion to help people learn about more natural modalities to improving their health. But I think Q saw the vision from when I just started saying, oh, I really want to do this. I want people to hear of ways that they can improve their health, outside of what they're just hearing on the news, which was a lot of doom and gloom back then. And I think she already saw the vision. I still didn't. I just thought this is going to, and then we started having these events and the feedback was phenomenal just from the first one. And it was like,
Wow.
okay, there's something here, but I still didn't think it would be now like I have chapters around the country, I have membership around
Wow.
the country in Canada, like had no
That's
idea all of,
incredible.
but I really think that God put me in rooms with people or connects me with people like Q. She's amazing to see and able to forecast. And then she helped me create like the next steps and already had like all the processes in place for me to move into that
That's
avenue of
so
creating a network.
perfect.
So
Wow.
I might not have that gift, but Lord, He knows how to send me the right people to bring it out. I really do think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. And Quadeera, like chief business strategist, like people think of a million things when they hear that. But for you, you have foresight because now people are like, oh, community.
It's funny when I hear people say that. So before getting in the trenches with Michelle like we are now, I was doing a lot of coaching and consulting. So what's funny now that I think about it? People always refer to the time after the flood, right? With Noah's Ark after the flood. And they behave as if there was no earth before the flood. So I think what has happened, it just dawned on me. What has happened is that when people are saying these terms like now everybody wants community, because Michelle says it all the time. Now everybody wants community. Now everybody's doing a network. Now everybody. But many of the things, I guess, as a business strategist, I have awareness. Many of them are not new. But I think what is happening in the world is that people are seeing the world like a post flood. They're seeing it post COVID. But
Yeah.
pre-COVID, in my world, as a coach and consultant, communities were everywhere. People being on
Ah.
Zoom was everywhere. People having webinars was everywhere. That's how we did business as coaches and consultants. So these big, like Tony Robbins, Jen Gottlieb, Rachel Rogers, all of these people, they were already having webinars, doing coaching. I was already selling programs. All of that was normal. But I think
Ah.
pre-COVID and post-COVID has just opened up more people to the opportunities to be
Yeah.
great and to be profitable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when people hear
Mhm.
business strategist, they should actually think of the title of this podcast, Connecting the Dots, because that's what I'm masterful at, connecting the dots. And if you know how to connect the dots, then you know how to have foresight. I'll say this last, me and my brother, we have this conversation all the time, my older brother, where we talk about the stock market and trends and business strategy. And I was sharing with him Warren Buffett, right? People think Warren Buffett is so amazing at what he does, and he is. But the thing that makes him amazing is that he has awareness and he connects the dots. And when
Yes.
you're able to connect the dots and identify the trends, you have foresight because you're able to see your past, you're able to see the present, and you're able to see the future based on what has happened, what is happening, and what is going to happen, or where you want your life and your business to go. So
Hmm.
that's what they should think of with business strategy, connecting the dots to make it all profitable for you and make it do what you want it to do.
Yeah. 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 And what, like, the question I have, because I feel like there's kind of there's always two groups of things, right? You have people who want like quick returns, and then you have people that are willing to do the long term thing. So, as far as your growth together, how long did it take from when you first had the idea until you're like, wow, this is a big thing now?
So we are on year 5.
Wow.
Yeah, this is
We
year.
ain't never stopping. We growing forever.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yes, and I mean, so much has really happened in 5 years, but there's so much more to come. Like it just keeps getting bigger and better. And it's so funny. I say to people all the time, I am an example of, Quadeera's wisdom, her knowledge, her expertise. Um, when people say, "What could you guys possibly do for me?" I'm thinking, well, I have over 14 years of experience in the health and wellness industry. She has over 14 years of experience doing what she does as a marketing and business consultant. And can you imagine the two together? Like, if she's helped me 10x my business, can you imagine what's going to happen for someone who decides to join? So it's been 5 amazing years, and this year is really going to be one for the books. Every year we think it's one for the books, but this year definitely going to be one for the books because we have something super exciting coming up in October that is just, I mean, is blowing people away just from describing it. What is
Oh, wow.
in October? So we're so excited.
Do you guys want to describe it here, or is that more like a in person, one to one describe? Because I would love for you to share whatever you want to share, like what people should be aware of.
Yeah. So in Austria. So in October, from October 5th through 11th, we are having South Florida Wellness Week. And
Oh,
I'm about to choke. Sorry.
it's okay.
South Florida Wellness Week. And this is going to be a week of curated events, pop ups, media panels, and ending in a summit and a gala. And so we will be going through the Tri County area from Palm Beach, Broward to Dade County, really spreading this message of health and wellness and bringing the community in to come and be with us and be engulfed in all the waves and of wellness that's going to like take over South Florida. So,
and it's really the health and wellness business community. So the leaders, the business owners, the people of influence, the people that make the health and wellness industry go around. That is who we're going to have on at this week of wellness. And so it's really exciting because, oh my God, both of us. It's really exciting because a lot of people in the science-backed, holistic, natural health and wellness community are not aware of how much that health and wellness economy even has the potential to make. They only see themselves and what they're doing, their little drop in the bucket, and not realizing that this sector has been positioned to bring in the revenues, the profitabilities of almost $9 trillion by the year 2028 or 2029. And so
Wow.
I think that the numbers are really important to bring up because most of the time, holistic health and wellness and women are not business owners, are not paying attention to the numbers or don't like to talk about the numbers, are afraid
Yeah.
of the numbers. Therefore, you're not being attractive to numbers. So if you want to be attractive to the numbers, holistic health and wellness business owners are always complaining, grieving about how people don't want to pay premium dollars, but it's because you don't even know what that looks like yet. So we have discovered that one of the biggest problems in the holistic health and wellness industry is the brand identity that the holistic health and wellness community has taken on. Even though they are healing, we are healing people. Even though you are changing lives, you have story upon story about people that you've helped get pregnant, people that you've helped, heal naturally, people that you've helped lose weight naturally, and all of these things. Nobody knows about it on a massive level
Right.
because you are stuck in a space of, I just want to do good. You can do good, but you can do more if you make it more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to shift the brand identity so that the people who are used to shopping with your competitors understand that you are the competition and you're a healthier, safer, more productive, more reliable competition, right? Resource that should be in their home, in everyone's home. So we got to shape that narrative, shape that aesthetic. You already have the credentials, the degrees, the everything, but we are the people that are going to power you, push you to the front, put your voice on the stage, give you the mic every time we can, and elevate you so that when they're looking at that one over there, who you might feel like is destructive, they will also see you and say, oh, well, maybe I have other options.
That's yeah, no, that's amazing. That's amazing. And the question that came to mind is, what is the common limiting belief that you've had to address repeatedly to get someone from I just want to do good to I just want to do good and do it at scale?
I love that. I just want to do good and do it at scale. I'll say that the most common limiting belief I've identified over the past 14 years is that I don't want to make it sound so simple and say, I'm just not enough. I'm going to add and say, typically it starts with what they have. First, they look at what they have. I don't have enough. And then they'll say, well, I don't know enough. And then they say, I'm not doing enough. So I don't have enough. I don't know enough. And I'm not doing enough. I need to do more. What would you say?
I agree. The biggest issue is in the mindset of the person. I meet people and I'm an internal optimist. So when I meet someone and I hear what they're doing, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like, that's so great. And then I see how they're moving in their expertise. And I'm like, well, why are you not moving in the greatness I see in you, right? Because they don't have the full belief in themselves yet. They don't have that belief that they have an amazing message to share with people. They don't have, and so I love when you go to a lot of like business growth and development conferences that they always start out with mindset. And at first I used to be like, why? Because I guess I naturally have a strong mindset. I'm a doer, I take action, but I realize a lot of people don't. And so that is like their biggest downfall. They have amazing expertise in what they do. When you put them on, they can articulate well. Like they have all these skill sets, but they're battling with their mind. That is the biggest part. And once they overcome that, oh my gosh, like amazing things happen.
You know, it's so funny because that's literally like what I was alluding to earlier. Like I felt like I didn't know enough, or, there just wasn't enough. And it's interesting, like for my journey specifically, like as a kid, I had all these like ideas and I was just always like, very creative with things I wanted to do and my interests. And, like, for example, I wanted to learn how to play the piano, but we didn't have money for it. So I taught myself, so so I had that resiliency built within me, but then I had something that other people didn't have. Right. So then I would get so much criticism and all this stuff from people who I thought were supposed to help me. Right. But they actually just didn't want me to be above whatever they're doing or something. They didn't want me to outshine them. When I'm in my own little world. Right. And then listening to all of that over time, and there's no one else to tell me like I am good enough, you start believing that stuff. So I had a whole phase. I had like, functional depression, all this stuff. Like there's so much stuff that's wrong with me, especially like you get it from some friends, you get it from some family, you get it from, I was in corporate, so you get it from corporate reviews, and then it's like, yeah, there's so much wrong with me. I need to fix myself. So you're always trying to fix yourself. And then you have a permanent voice like, yeah, you're not good enough. And then, but God.
God. Jessica, what you are saying is so spot on, because when you are in the wrong environment, you can feel like you're out of place, you're crazy for thinking the way you think. But then when you move into the right environment, oh my gosh, you start to flourish and grow. It's amazing. And that is why, like, our community that we have is to help people grow and flourish and to have that belief in themselves that I've been in business for 14 years. I know it's my family and my friends that think I'm crazy. I'm the crazy fruit and vegetable lady. Like, girl, I've gotten so many names over the years. And I'm just like, I'm pretty resilient. It's that resilience. That's why we're all sitting right here, right? Because we have that resilience to move outside of what we're hearing people say and to keep moving forward.
So it's like, I was gonna ask for like your resiliency, right? Because I feel like when people hear the word resilient, they feel like they have to be tough or something. So, or it's like the word resiliency it means so many different things to different people, right?
Yeah.
So for resiliency to you, let's say someone is like, man, I just wish I could be like that, and they feel like they can't. What advice would you give to them to start to change that internal narrative, or to basically have them figure out like what resiliency actually is and how they can show to themselves that they have it too?
Yeah. I know for.
Well, first,
Okay.
we got to define the word.
Oh.
Excuse me. First, we got to define the word resilient, because a problem that we have as people is that we will think we know what a word means. And so that's one of the reasons why we don't know that we have the thing or we can achieve the thing, because we don't even actually know what it means. So without getting into all the etymology and all the things, we just going to do a basic Google search. But I do recommend looking up all the words, like the root and everything. But resilient is of a person or animal able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions. What's similar, but not the definition, is strong, tough, hardy. So to be resilient is not to be strong, tough, or hardy. It's a similarity, a similar word. But the first definition is being able to withstand or recover from difficult conditions. Second one I see here is able to recoil. This is for an object, but we could pull from science, right? Able to recoil, pew, bouncy, or spring back into shape after bending, stretching, or being compressed. Now that makes it powerful and gives more perspective. Now, go ahead.
Yes. And it's so funny. My definition is similar to what the first definition you read. And I wouldn't say, in my mind, I wasn't thinking it's the ability to recover quickly, but it is the ability to get back up and keep going, even after you hear a million no's, even after you have you might be humiliated in something that happened while you were trying to share your message, still saying, you know what, I'm still going to be consistent and continue to share despite the naysayers and all the things that I am overcoming. I'm going to keep going. And so that's something I had to do in my 14 years of sharing. I was a network marketer. Like, it doesn't get any harder than that. Like, if you can do network marketing and become a leader, which I became a leader in my network marketing business, you can do just about anything. Like, I'm kicking down entrepreneurship doors because I'm just like, I've gone through everything. I've heard a million no's, and I'll continue to hear no's, but I will keep going. And so that is the difference, not shying away from your gifts, but to say, okay, that's, one challenge, one obstacle, but I'm going to keep going.
I think what gives you the ability to keep going, though, is both of you used these words, or you actually implied it, but you used it, which was like natural. You said that you feel like you have this natural ability to take action and things like that. So now we got to think about, well, what makes something natural to someone, right? It means it's inherent. But what actually has happened is there's been a cultivating and a grooming. And then it goes back into your environment. Even if the people you grew up with may not have been the best or whatever, there is something somewhere in your environment. Find it, connect the dots. But there is something somewhere in your environment that gave you this identity of who you are and what is possible for you to achieve. Even if it was just a small, tiny 0.3% thing that somebody said or did or whatever. And for some reason, when it was given to you, when it was said to you, when you were around it, you believed it and it became yours. And then you were able to move in that identity where, yes, your family and friends might say you're the crazy plant lady, but somewhere, along your journey, somebody planted something and your identity was built off of, I can take 99 no's. I don't care about what y'all saying. I'm going to do this. I don't care if y'all talking about me with this or with that. It could have been a teacher, could have been your parents, could have been a friend, could have been something you saw on TV. It could have been something. So when we're talking about having resilience, community, this ain't just any old community. One, you got to start reframing what you even think community means. Because community don't mean, oh, just who you grew up with or where you grew up or this is what I got, this is what was given to me. No, community is an intentional forming. You got to intentionally form the community that you want around you. And I learned that back in therapy when I was in college. The college had a therapist, and I took on the therapist. And I remember I was having challenges. I thought I was going to go to therapy and talk about my dad. I spoke the entire year or two about my mom. It surprised me. And to get to the other stuff, but this was more the root, right? But she told me, when you feel like you don't have, so there's that lack, right? That you feel like you don't have, you have the permission, the dominion, and the authority to go and add in what you feel like you are lacking. So if you feel at this season you are lacking the mother figure, you can go and find and put in that mother figure or that father figure or that sister figure. In the case of your business, which is what Michelle and I do, if you feel like you are lacking a business community, you have the full permission, dominion, and authority over your assignment to go find that community, to go find those mentors, and to add them into the community that you feel you need to succeed and get to your next level. Okay, I'm getting fired up.
You got her started, Jessica.
No, like you said so many things that are so 100% like so incredibly accurate, because last year I needed constant permission to just be myself. That was the theme of my year last year. I can be myself.
So powerful.
That is.
I had to give myself permission to be myself too. That's why I know what you're talking about. I did a post. One of my best posts today actually was me talking about how I was driving in my car and I was listening to one of my favorite like alternative rock songs. And I posted that video and I said, I had to start giving myself permission to do the things that I love to do in silence and quiet out loud. Because growing up, most of those things that I loved, I would be picked on for. So when I now transition these pieces of my mind, reconfigure that belief system, this affects how I show up in business now.
Exactly.
Because now when I get on the stage, you ain't gonna tell me nothing. Like, I'm here. I'm gonna say what I want to say and do what I want to do.
Exactly.
So yeah, permission.
And and then the other thing you said about curating your community, right? The more you allow yourself to be yourself, you start choosing people that are actually like yourself too. Because before, when you're not yourself, you choose people like, oh, let me choose this person because I feel bad for them. Or I can help them. Or yeah. But then you choose people like that, but you still have that little spark of light inside of you, right? And then you have you have people that will like, oh, I don't really like you like that. I want what you have.
Jessica, you just summarized exactly why the Holistic Business Network was created. and why these events came to be. So I was in network marketing, and a lot of times there's people that may join your team that you don't really know because they're coming in from other people. And so you come to find that, oh gosh, these aren't really like a great fit for me and the kind of person that I really want to surround myself with, right? So when I started with the idea of having those events, one of the first things that I said to Quadeera, and I didn't know she was going to think I was crazy, but I was like, yeah, not only is it going to be, they're doing amazing work in health and wellness, but I really will want to vet for personality, because I don't want any and everyone representing my name. Like, you're a part of my event, so you're representing what I do. And just from years of working with people and seeing how you may be doing amazing things, but you might not be the nicest person. You might not have this energy of, reciprocity and all those things. That was a huge part of what I've created with the Holistic Business Network. Every single person that's a part of that network who's been a part of one of my events has been vetted. The one time I didn't vet someone, it bit me in the butt. The one time I didn't vet someone, it bit me in my butt. And I'm like, look at that. See, so everything you just said to a T is so true. You want to curate your community and your environment. And it will help you with your mental health significantly.
And everybody don't belong in your environment.
That's true.
I had to learn that.
We're conditioned that, oh, that's not nice. And no, everybody don't belong in your environment.
Like, and it's so funny. I've been watching, the other day we watched this movie called Basic Instinct. It's from like the 90s.
Yeah. That's my genre. Yes.
And like, I'm like, always be acting like I'm not from her genre. You think I don't know Basic Instinct? No, I'm sorry, Jessica. Go ahead.
Like, it's just so funny because these movies, they have like real life lessons in them. Like,
and how deceptive people can be, and just, yeah. So what was the lesson that you got from Basic Instinct?
Girl, well, here's the thing, right? Because I have a lot of women that would come up to me like throughout my life, actually, because I always dressed well, because I never wanted people to see what I was really going through on the inside. So I'm like, I'm going to be so fabulous on the outside, nobody's going to see me on the inside, right? So, but I would feel like crap on the inside, still look good on the outside. And I would have women come up to me because they would want to look good on the outside too. So I would take people underneath my wings because I'm like, all right, I feel better on the outside. But people didn't look at me like that, right? And so it's like I would have best friends who would, like, I think they're like, okay, they're improving this or improving that. But it's really, they were just studying me, really.
What you say now? What we call that?
Oh, my goodness. Oh my gosh, we have a term for that.
A watcher of some kind.
Oh my gosh. Because
monitoring spirit.
Just hovering over to see what you're doing and trying to replicate
every single move, all my free time. But it was like, no, we're best friends.
They wanted to pull from what you had, but it's impossible for them to be you, right? They want to be you, but they can't be you. So they're trying to pull from the things that they see you doing. Oh yeah, monitoring spirits.
Yeah, and I didn't know any better. I'm like, thinking they're growing, but that was something I had to learn, and then when it came down to when I was at low points, oh no, like I have to be around iron sharpens iron. Like, God, I have to be around, God fearing people. I'm like, but I thought we were like, what? Wow. I had no best friends.
Oh, that's definitely a monitoring spirit and a gimme gangster. So we come across people like this all the time, right? Not just us, people in general. And when you have people that don't know how to give back to you, right? After you've given to them, It's because
Yeah.
they have no depth, number one. They haven't gone deep and done the work. It's actually not their fault, like that they can't help you because they're not in that space. They want to be around people that can sharpen iron sharpens iron because they have no iron.
Mm-hmm.
They have nothing to no device to even sharpen anyone because themselves they are dull,
Yeah.
right? They're the dullest of the bunch. And this does not mean that you will not ever be able to grow, but we just have to call it out so you can think about it, see yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
say, oh my God, this might be me they're talking about. So you can now go in and do the work or get some brain mapping or whatever. You could go do all that, right? But first you need to
Mhm.
identify, oh, I think I might be the dull one in the bunch
Mm-hmm.
because you're never going to grow that way. You'll grow on the surface, but you ain't
Yeah.
you ain't going. That's why the blessing going to keep skipping over you.
Mm-hmm.
Do
You
you
wonder.
find that they ever admit that they're the dull one though?
I think people who do the work can eventually make that discovery. Like people who come back to you and make apologies. Don't think for 1 second that there won't be a person. We still young out here. Don't think for a moment that throughout your life, people are not going to come back to you, to go
Yeah.
Bible a little bit. What do they say? I will make your enemy your footstool,
Mm.
right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That
Mhm.
doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be, you know, like this lowly person forever, but it does mean when you begin to look in the mirror at yourself, not that Bible verse, but this conversation, when you begin to look in the mirror at yourself, if they're really doing the work, they will come back to you. They
Mm.
will make amends, make apologies, and that
Mhm.
will give them the permission to grow. They will ask for forgiveness and then you
Mm.
will forgive, hopefully.
Mhm.
You don't have to
Mhm.
forget, but you will forgive.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
then they will grow. So you still young, we still young. I've had people come back and apologize to me. They may come back and apologize before their time is up on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the people who have come back to apologize to you, what is it like post apology life? Like like do you like how is that?
Well, the apology is not really for me, number
Mm.
one. But that's because I've done my work. I know the apology is not for me. The
Mhm.
apology is for them because I've also had to make my own apologies. So we all have to make our own apologies. That's how I know this thing goes round in a circle, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I've made my apologies. I'm sure some of the people I apologized to, they were just like, okay, kept it moving.
Yeah.
That apology was for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
The people that
That's
made the
true.
apologies to me, I was like, okay, great, no problem. Now we can move on. The
Yeah.
apology was for them to
Mm-hmm.
grow. So post apology, again, we can forgive, we can give, right?
Mm-hmm.
Forgiveness is giving for, right? Or we can say
Mhm.
giving forward. So I can give you what you need in this moment by saying, I understand, thank you so much for that. And I am actually giving you the blessing, a gift, when I accept and let you go on to do the next stage, the next level of what you need to do. But it
Mhm.
doesn't mean I have to forget because you might just do it again.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Like, cause I definitely done my round of apologies. Sometimes when I was going through a lot of stuff, I'll disappear from people. Like just because I really physically like could not handle it, right? And I apologize for those type of things, or like maybe something I just comes to my mind, like maybe I was an asshole, and let me apologize for that. And like on my side, yeah, it felt good just to say sorry and acknowledge behavior that I wouldn't want done to me. And then that was that. And I think like for myself, I think like thank you for sharing that, because when that does happen, there would be that little part of me that would want to be like, okay, maybe we can have all right, you did some work, maybe we can have something again. But then to your point, it's like there is always that risk of, doing it again. And then I also have to keep in mind, there is this book I read called Outliers, the amount of time you're doing something dictates your level of being able to do it. And so if I've been working on myself for however long and you just started working on yourself, the probability of something weird happening again is still there, just because of the compounding effects of time.
Mm-hmm. And the iterations that they've gone through. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
That's one of your words. You want to expand on iteration?
iterations. Oh my gosh. Like our mentor, we love to call him our mentor, Myron Golden. But I was watching one of his podcasts, and he was talking about the difference between two people is the number of iterations that they've gone through to get to where they are, to get to that next level and skill set. And he was like, most people will not go through enough iterations to become an expert. They will give up right before they're about to become that next level expert. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I've been through so many iterations to where I can stand before people today and be authentically like sharing how and, you know, the things that you can do to build and grow, you know, your network and grow your business, because I've done it so many times. I've gone through those iterations, and usually that's what most of us need to do. And that's where resilience comes in, right? We need to have resilience to continue to go through the process. Even if we're falling down, got to get back up so we can have enough iterations to then become that expert level in that the person that we're going to become to be who we really want to be in life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. There is something about that iterative process, because that's what we do in project management, and my projects go really well. Is you take something and you keep going at it, tweaking, refining the little details. And you're also like, with the process of iterations, you're able to adapt to the new environments you're going into, constantly incorporating new things at the pace that's right for you, or whatever the thing is, whether it's a project or business, that pace, right, of incorporating, adapting, and growing. It reminds me of plants. You know, plants grow.
Yeah.
And that's probably why we're all sitting here. You just mentioned the book Outliers. I love that book because it really is speaking to the fact that what makes those people different. He gives these stories of people that have done amazing things, the iterations that they went through. Like, they're not special. They didn't have this. Some people are born with special gifts, yes, but they had to hone those gifts, right? They had to make them get to the level of where it would stand apart. And so, totally in alignment with that. And I could imagine, I know you're probably rocking it as a project manager, because we could just see the refinement of what you're probably already gone through, the iterations where you can stand on here on this podcast and be able to talk to other people because you just have all of this knowledge you've gained over time.
Yeah. Same with all three of us here. Yeah. So we've been able to have a hot fire conversation. It's like we've lived like, I don't know, 3 lives or something. And we have so much, like, seriously, like I have conversations, like I like to hang out with like older people as well, like maybe in their 60s, 70s. And the types of conversations we can have, like I relate to them so much because it's like, oh yeah, okay. You know, just because we've done so much work and reflection and gaining so much experience. And I honestly would say in a condensed amount of time, where like, because we have access to so much information, so much opportunities, and the world is so open as well. So we're able to pack in so much. And because we reflect and refine and integrate it, we can relate to people who, you know, have lived life, you know? Yeah. And I'm so excited that we were able to connect and talk about these topics that I feel isn't really so common to talk about. Because I definitely didn't think I would go through half the things I went through on my journey. I did not. So thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you for this conversation, because it definitely was next level, and things that aren't the common things to talk about and hear about. And I hope this touches one and many people, like when they hear this
That's
episode
me.
drop.
So definitely, you already got that one covered. Now it's going to touch many.
Yeah.
It touched me too.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm
Yeah.
talking on these podcasts, it's like I'm talking to myself. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
Thank you.
guys had your top 3 gems to offer to people,
Mm.
what are they?
Top 3. Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
you can go first.
Okay, I'm winging this.
You can go first.
She's working on getting her voice back. So my top 3 gems would be audacious.
Mm.
You know, so many times we miss out on amazing opportunity because we're afraid to be audacious and just do that one thing that could possibly change everything. It could be just one thing. Going up and asking about something or inquiring about something, be audacious. It has opened many doors for me, being audacious. Be reciprocal. Like, I'm huge on reciprocity, and I don't do it in expectation of receiving something back. It's just that I feel that that's how, as humans, we should live in reciprocity. It's like it brings a better environment, and it just makes people feel so good when they feel like you care. And I think reciprocity shows that there's some humanity left where you care for people. And then my third thing would be, what's the third thing? I usually have these things flying off the top of my tongue, but this conversation took a different turn. So like, I'm thinking of all the things we've talked about. Be audacious, have reciprocity, and live life out loud. Like, some of my favorite people to watch on social media are those that are living life out loud. Like, there's this young lady who has this app, which is an app that allows you to leave your last messages to your family if something happens to you. This girl lives out loud. She literally helped this elderly woman a few weeks ago, in her 90s. She saw her struggling across the street, helped her, dropped her home, bought her some food, did all. She just got featured on like Good Morning America because of that. This happened literally like 3 weeks ago, and I watched it, and everyone was. Then she started a GoFundMe. She had to go to Europe like a few days later. She sent people to look over the older lady. The lady was like, "I'm living on Social Security. I don't have enough money to get enough food." Like, the ripple effect this young lady has created because she lives out loud and authentically. I'm just like, I love it. So there's so many people that I find that are living like they're trying to hide. They're hiding out. They're like the best kept secret, and they need to live out loud because people would love to see what you're doing, what you have to share. And you don't have to be like celebrity level to share amazing things. This young lady's an everyday woman that's just sharing her life, right? And what her work. And so being audacious, share reciprocity, and also living out loud.
I love that so much.
That was so good. That was so good. I love the 3 words, stop hiding out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give 3 that will complement her 3. And they're just realizations about discussions, things that we've been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to start with number 1, which is stop living under the bridge and recognize that you live in a kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure where the audience is, I'm not sure where they are in their faith journey, in their belief systems, in their religion. I'm not talking religion, but it might be associated with religion. And so I want people, especially here in the United States of America, to remember, recognize for the first time even, that we are living in a kingdom here on earth. Mm. And the reason why I want to give this as a gem, my number one gem, before I tell you the other two, is because I really think it's happened for me that when you can reframe your mind that we are living on a kingdom here in earth, on earth, right? That it really helps you understand what your position is in the kingdom. So most of us in the United States of America growing up here, we have not considered ourselves to be living in a kingdom, and we don't really know what that looks like, right? We know what movies show us or whatever. But I was sharing with Michelle the other day, I said, hold up, girl, we live in a kingdom? I said, wait a minute, we live in a kingdom? I say, hold on, God just got my whole life right now. And the reason why God got my whole life, Jessica, is because I had to think about places where there are kingdoms. Because in the United States of America, we don't have a kingdom. But even for the president, right? If the president was coming to your house, if the queen was coming to your house, if the king was coming to your house, you want to make sure that your house is in so much order for their arrival that you're going to do everything in your power to prepare for their arrival. Now, if this was way back in the day, we talking centuries ago, you probably will get word that the king or the queen is coming at least a year in advance, 6 months in advance. So now you got a whole year to prepare for the king or the queen that is coming. So that means you're going to plant certain things, right? You're going to be, maybe quilting certain things, making certain gifts, because when the king comes or the queen comes, you want the environment to be comfortable, that filled with treasure and lavish things, right? You don't want the queen or king to come visit you under a bridge, right? You don't want that. You're going to feel shamed. You're going to feel embarrassed. Listen, I'm not saying that, people probably will be like, oh, but there's people. And I get it. This is just for you. If you receive it, that means this is for you. Right? And that means that you can do better. If you get in this message right now, that means you can do better. So you don't want the king or the queen to catch you slipping under a bridge. Mm-hmm. So you can do better. But first you got to realize you live in a kingdom on earth and that you have a role to play. You've been given an assignment. Myron Golden says God wants you to be king or queen over your assignment, right? So start treating your assignment, your business, like it has a place in the kingdom, and stop acting like your business belongs under a bridge where nobody can see it. That day is over. You can't do that no more. So Michelle says, stop hiding out. And I'm adding, stop living under a bridge and recognize you live in a kingdom. So now when you recognize you live in a kingdom, Jessica, now you're going to start moving differently because now you know that the king is coming to visit. And you want to do everything in your power to stack up all the wealth, all the food, all the everything that you can. You can't be treating this assignment like it's nothing no more. People out here, I say it all the time, people out here dying every day because you want to act like you live under a bridge, right? Yeah. So then number 2, what that goes to is don't be afraid to reprogram yourself and recondition yourself. Gone are the days, I did it for myself. Gone are the days where you can lean in, because you're hearing it now, to say that I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah, you can't say that anymore.
You have a phone. Take your phone, record your voice, nobody else's but yours, Program it with who you actually are. I live in a kingdom. I am a part of the kingdom. The king or the queen has given me an assignment. I am going to ride for this assignment like I would ride off into the sunset. I am here for this. I can do this. I am this. I am able to achieve this. I have every resource possible and imaginable. Nothing can hold me back. I'm being aligned with the right people. I'm being aligned with the right time, with the right places. I deserve to make loads of money because the king is coming and I got to make sure the environment is set for him. That's number 2. And then number 3, mentioning environment, guard your environment with your life. Don't let nobody who tells you that, oh, you acting this way, you acting that way. Yes, I am. I guard my environment with my life. If you don't fit in the environment, you can't stay here. I can love you from afar, but you got to go because I live in a kingdom. And the thing I got to protect is my mind and my environment. I have been given a post, my sword. I'm sticking it down right here. You cannot enter into this. This is sacred ground. So those are my 3 things. Start programming your phone tonight with your voice. Listen to it as many times as possible. Remember that you live in a kingdom. Guard the kingdom with your life, and you will start to see different things begin to flourish and prosper in your life and in your business.
Girl.
Mic drop.
If people don't get on board with themselves and their lives after that, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to tell them, you know? Like, that was literally everything that you could possibly need to transform your life like this.
I hyped myself up just now. I'm ready to go right now.
I stay hyped because I'm attached to this one.
Oh my
good.
gosh. And where can people find you 2 beautiful, lovely souls?
They can find us in a number of ways. They can go to Instagram and follow the Holistic Business Network and Feel Well Magazine. And they can also follow South Florida Wellness Week on Instagram to stay up to date on all the good things that are happening. You can also find us on LinkedIn under Quadeera Teart. I'm Michelle Fletcher. We're also on Facebook. We're on most platforms. You might even see us in TikTok. I don't know. You can go there. We are there. Not as often, but we're there. So, and then we also have web pages. So the holisticbusinessnetwork.com and feelwellmagazine.com are a number of places you can find us.
This was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. This was incredible. This was incredible. And for everybody watching and listening out there, please, please, please follow these, I was going to say, choking up. Please, please, please follow these wonderful women. They are incredible. You just heard a little snippet of all of their knowledge and wealth of experience and everything, all pouring from their heart. And please like and subscribe. And this podcast will be, what am I saying right now? That, like, obviously this podcast is live for the audience. So we'll drop another episode next week or in 2 weeks. I'm getting better at these outro things. But thank you so much, guys.
Iterations. Let's go.
Yes, you're doing amazing. Thank you for having us. Jessica, you absolutely rock. So glad we met you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey everyone, thanks for listening and thanks for watching. If you were inspired by what you heard, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.